This week we're going to be making pasta carbonara, a little bit of a different style, a modern version, versus the old traditional version. Now, I found this recipe on YouTube, and I'm going to be publishing the ingredients in the description of the video. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making pasta carbonara with a little bit of it in a little bit of a different way. So I'm boiling some pasta water right now. So it started a little bit. I salted it so it could boil faster. But what's going on right now is that's just boiling for our bucatini noodles that we're going to be using. We're going to be using some bucatini noodles. If you can't find this, I just recommend regular spaghetti. That could work as well. We're going to be using 4 eggs. We're going to be using 3 whole eggs and just an egg yolk. We're going to be using Romano cheese. You can use Parmesan or Romano for this recipe. Though here I have a Parmesan Reggiano, and you're going to need roughly 4 ounces of that. You're going to need black pepper, which I have here, salt for your water, and maybe at the end if you need it. You're going to need extra thick cut bacon. You're going to need 8 ounces of this, though I'm just going to use the 12 ounces in the entire package here. You're going to need 2 cloves of garlic, not something you traditionally put in carbonara, but something that we're going to include. And that's pretty much it, so let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to combine our eggs in a bowl. Now, I mentioned that we're going to need 3 egg yolks, and we're going to need 4 egg yolks and 3 egg yolks and whites. So I'll just get cracking. It's 1. You want to make sure no shell gets in this. That's 2. No, I'll just leave the trash open on this one. Then that's 3. Little shell got in there. We don't want any shell. Got a little more shell got in there. That's not good. If you find that shell gets it, I've done this before, I believe. Though, if you find that shell gets in your eggs, what you want to do is you just want to take a larger piece of the shell and put it right in the bowl, and also you can safely take it out with your hands, and then just scoop the excess shell out. And just pour the white back in, like so. Alrighty, that's our shell out, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to open up this last box of eggs. We'll just open up this last box. We'll need 1 egg from here. And what we're going to do is rather than just putting everything in, I'm going to crack this. I'm going to pour my white out into the bowl here. Oh, this looks like it's sticking together. But what I'll do is I'll just rotate the egg like this, so that the white loops out. I just have the yolk remaining, and in the yolk, the 4th yolk goes. Great, that's my yolks, and that's my eggs and egg yolk in a bowl. So I'm just going to rinse off my hands quickly before I go into my cutlery drawer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out a fork and just beat my eggs together. We're just going to combine them. Our 4 egg yolks and 1 egg white. Like so. well and combined. Might have been a slight bit of shell in there. We'll see if we can get that out at a later time. It doesn't have to be entirely perfect, but you want no shell in there ideally. Now we're gonna add 4 ounces of our grated cheese. This is roughly a 5.45 ounce package, so I'll be adding in most of this. Oh, that should be perfect actually. A little more. That should be perfect. Now all I'll do is I'll just stir this in, combine it with my egg mixture. Maybe a little too much cheese. That's fine, I'll just stir this together. Actually, no, this is looking perfect. I'll just stir this together to combine my egg slurry and my cheese so that you should have something that's beginning to look like this here. This egg and cheese mixture. Scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure everything gets in. This recipe I'm using has specific measurements, so I kind of just eyeballed it. I just advocate for eyeballing it most of the time. Though, if you really want to get it actually really, really precise, then you can use a kitchen scale and measure it all out. That over there. This is my egg white over here. But now what we're going to do is we're going to want to give this a bunch of generous black pepper. You want to make these really peppery. We're not particularly peppery, just do it to your liking. But make sure that there's pepper in here. So I'll just stir to combine again, and then you have your slurry, but it smells like amazing fresh pepper. Great. Now what you're going to want to do is we're going to want to take our thick cut bacon that we've got here, and we're going to want to cut it into nice chunks. Normally you do 8 ounces. Normally you would do something like 8 ounces for this, but I just have a 12 ounce package, so I'm just going to use all of it. Our water is looking like it's boiling for our pasta. That's good. I'll just turn it down to a lower heat. We're going to be coming back to that in a little bit. For now, I'm just going to cut open my bacon packet. There we go. What we essentially want to do here is we want to take all of our bacon and cut it to nice thick chunks. If you don't have thick cut bacon or something like pancetta, I forgot the traditional Italian ingredient that you would use for this. But I think it's a type of pork jowl. Guanciale, I think it's called. If you can't find it, thick cut bacon like this is totally fine. In fact, I'm using thick cut bacon myself. So what we're just going to do is we're going to cut this bacon to nice big chunks. You don't want to cut too big or too small chunks of bacon. You just want to cut the just right size chunks. And the reason we're using a lot of this bacon is because we want a lot of this bacon fat to render out. And as we did with the chicken teriyaki, rendering just means liquefying. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let this fat liquefy, and we're going to cook our pasta and our egg slurry with cheese in it, and it's going to be such a good dish. Can't wait to share this with everyone. Cut those sauces. continue chopping away. Chop our third piece. This pile is going to be roughly 12 ounces of bacon. So normally, as I mentioned earlier, you'd use 8 ounces or a smaller amount in this recipe, though I have this entire package, so I might as well use it. Alright, that's our third piece cut. I absolutely love bacon. Continue. I'm just going to go out just a little while longer. Chopping with my big knife here. Having a big knife to do this really makes it a lot easier, and I highly recommend getting a chef's knife in the kitchen. Good tool to have. And we'll do our last slice right here. It might be just wise to double check that we're still recording. We are. We're still recording, which is good. Keep chugging away. Almost done. Great. All our pieces are cut. Put that one. And then we're ready to put this into a cold nonstick pan. I'm just going to rinse off my hand because I have an iron pan there. I just have to get out the nonstick version. So just bear with me just for a quick second. Switch my regular for non-stick one. Going with a non-stick coating, preferably. I think this one should work out better than this metal one. Yeah, this is stainless steel. So rather than doing stainless steel, we'll do this one. And what we want to do is we want to slide our bacon into a pan without any other fat in it, and we just want this to get out in a cold pan. I'll just spread this all around. You might be thinking right now, Chris, you're not gonna have any room for the pasta or anything else. Well, I'm just going to tell you that this is going to shrink down a little bit. So you'll see this as the fat shrinks down and renders out. You're going to have, you'll have plenty of room. There you go. Now I'll just turn the heat to medium. Wrong burner. Great. just spread this around like so. So now, even though this might take a little while, what we want actually this to do here is we want the fat to liquefy. And that's going to provide a nice little base for our pasta. You just wait a couple seconds, you're going to start to see the fat render out. Or begin to, at least. This is the type of sizzling that you want to hear. See the liquid that's starting to come out? You can't see it here, but if I bring the computer closer, bring it right over, you're going to start to see some hints of liquid here. And that liquid is the pork fat that's starting to render out. Listen to that sizzle go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my pasta water heat back on to a boil. Get back to a rolling boil. While this fat renders out. Because my pasta water cooled down a little bit while I did all my steps for the bacon preparation. Now we're just going to wait for this bacon to be done. Now as this continues rendering out, you're going to see more and more liquid and fond start to form. And fond is really good because that means you get flavor. Because this is a non-stick pan, I can easily move this bacon around. As our bacon gets more and more cooked, it's starting to get smaller and become the cooked bacon that we all know and love. We get our water boiling faster. That's feeling really good. We just keep chugging away. See how this bacon piece is starting to look done? Or you can't see it right now, but I have some bacon piece. I have one bacon piece that's starting to look done. Or very close to being done. But a lot of the others still aren't done yet, so we still gotta let this keep cooking. And our pasta is almost. Let's try a little more. Just a minuscule amount of fat more in. That was just a little scrap left over. Now I'm going to get out our grater. This has to mince the garlic, though when I saw this on YouTube, I thought he said it looked more grated. So I'll just grate the garlic in a little bit. You only need 2 cloves. Just keep turning this around to make sure our bacon doesn't get burnt. See some little burnt stuff on the bottom. We want to make sure this gets flipped. Looking killer. We keep going. Almost there. Now I see a lot more fat is actually rendered out. There's enough fat for everything here cooked. Making pretty good time too. Just get a little more done before I move on to the next step. What I will do, after getting all this spread out, I'll start to get my garlic and all this grated. Grated garlic is right in here, so I'll be able just to slide it right in with a knife when I'm ready. I'll wait there for a second. A little while longer on that bacon. Going. Beware of a little splattering. Alright, that's my second clove filled with garlic grated. Yeah, of course. Or not. I'll be prepared soon. Ah yes, this is starting to look good. Almost nice and done. Smell really good too. I think we're at the stage where we can get some. We can add in our garlic. What I'll actually do is, because my brother really likes bacon. What I'll do is I'll just take some out for him. I have some bacon to spare for this. Just a little more back in. And that'll be good. Now what I'll do is I will add my garlic in. Here you have the option of straining out some fat. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my pan to medium-low heat, and then put in my garlic. And in my garlic goes right into the bacon fat. In it goes. I'll spread that garlic around. So it gets everywhere. That garlic smells wonderful. Over medium-low heat. And I'll take out my fettuccine noodles. And then add them right to my pasta water. So I'll take them out with my hand. Drop some noodles. I'll take them with my hand. Oh, one raw noodle just fell in. I'll get that out in a second. Turn and then just let them slide in like that. Grab my tongs. And just turn and twist, let them fall in. Go in the pot noodles. Some water came out. I'll just cook the noodles to my desired doneness. Grab a piece of paper towel quickly. Take out that random, I don't want to use my hand, that random noodle that just fell in there apparently, because it just wanted to be acquainted with the bacon early. Tap it on the floor. Get that in a second. Put all that in, that needs to go a little longer. Heat up just a little bit. You got my third cup. I'll leave that. Your third cup. Third cup of water, ready for when I put my pot in. Toast these noodles. Take 1 ounce after it's done. Doesn't feel done right now. Oh, yeah, that. So right now that was crunchy. We just gotta wait for that. We just gotta wait for that to be go just a little longer. Let's try this again. Take 2 noodles out. Significantly less crunchy now. But we haven't hit al dente yet. How are these doing right now? Ooh, starting to come to the bottom. This is getting a little crunchy. All right. We're getting there. I think just another minute or two and we're okay. But this is, I just lowered the heat just a smidge. This is where you want to get to the point where you're constantly checking. Because this is the point where your pasta can cook really quickly. Or not necessarily cook really quickly, but if you let it sit without checking it, it's going to get to the point where it's either too overdone for you. So crunchy though. Just a couple more minutes. Try again. You want the water to be starchy. Almost there. I'm looking to do this pasta more al dente because we're gonna have a thick sauce with our egg and cheese slurry that we made earlier. So we're gonna have the creaminess, and I don't want soft pasta with creamy sauce. So I think it would be better to do al dente here. Again, see if it's done. Almost. I'm gonna try again when my video timer reaches 37. So right now I'm at 36:19. So 40. So roughly now in 40 seconds. Let's try again. This water here is going to be starchy water that we're going to put in alongside our pasta. Bacon's looking really good, so. Stole a piece. We're a little over 37. Let's see what it says right now. Maybe when we hit 38:40. I'm just eating through this now. I'm not even trying. You know, I mean, you don't have to try this. You don't have to. I'm not. Or rather, you don't have to go so precise. But I'm trying to make sure it's done right, or as right as I can get it. Try to get one directly from the bottom. Good. Let's spin at the bottom. Let's see where it's at. Let's go for it. Maybe a minute, I don't know. What's this at? 39, let's do one try. One more, and we'll see how it is. Yeah, it's fine. Alrighty, next step is these cooked noodles are going in the pan along with a third cup of our pasta water. So we'll just quickly take our noodles and into the pan they go. And you want to keep these noodles, stirring. And you want to keep these noodles moving vigorously. There you go. So what we're going to do here is now just add in a third cup of our pasta water. Oops, that was a lot of meat. Fine. Cold water. Fine. Then I'll just pour our egg and cheese mixture into the pan. Make sure it all gets in there. And toss vigorously. I got this egg and cheese slurry all throughout. cut my water temperature, turn that off. I'll try a taste of it. I'll grab a fork. Try a taste. This is really good. Just with a little salt. Try again. First breath, fourth. Try again. Toss vigorously, get all the salt around. See? And we're done. There's carbonara for you. I think that's really good. So, I had a really good time bringing this to everyone. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to hear a new take on a dish that I found on a new take on carbonara that I found on the internet. I think it's really good. I'll have the recipe ingredients in the description. If you can only try making this yourself at home. I almost used a stainless steel pan, but the nonstick actually came in really, really handy, so that I could move my things around easily. You can move the bacon to your desired doneness. If you find that you want the bacon more or less done, I would definitely recommend doing it more or less. You don't have to be bound to any specific temperatures on anything. Just make sure that it's cooked the best way that you want. Normally you can serve this with a twisting fork, though I don't think my family has one of those. So I'm just gonna get a serving spoon and just give myself a massive heaping of this. This is really good. I need to get myself some more of this. All in all, I think this is a really good recipe that I chose for this week, and I'm really happy I made it. So, once again, after I just finished getting myself this bowl, once again, I hope everyone has a really good week. There's some more bacon in there too, but it needs to be splattered everywhere. One more spoonful for me. All in all, I hope everyone has a very good week. Stay tuned for next week, where I will be bringing you another great recipe to be determined then. So I hope everyone looks eagerly forward with anticipation. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.